Fallout fans, are you ready for a feast? Because for once, we're going to eat pretty good, it seems like, at least in the terms of quantity. I don't know about quality quite yet, but we have a lot coming our way, and that's a mighty big change compared to the last, I don't know, half a decade. It's been a while. I'm sorry, Elder Scrolls fans. I know you've waited longer than us, but we Fallout fans are a greedy bunch. What can I say? We wait half a decade and we want a lot more. And it seems like at the top of the new year, there is going to be a lot more. At the end of every year, I like to sit down and just collect ourselves as Fallout fans and talk about what's coming up for this series. Most times, it's a pretty downtrodden, sad, depressing conversation on how the series is headed in the wrong direction. But for the first time in a while, I feel pretty good. God, I hope that doesn't age horribly, but I actually feel pretty optimistic about where we're headed, where at least I know we're getting content, and some of that content seems to be on the upswing or already is looking pretty good. We'll talk about everything from the Fallout TV show to the Fallout 4 Next Gen update, the Fallout 3 remaster, and even the future of Fallout 76, which is much more important than you may actually expect because it ties into all of this, which is why we're wrapping up with it. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here and you're into Fallout, everything, you already know what to do. Please consider subscribing. I actually want to begin with the Fallout TV show, not only because it's the newest upcoming bit of Fallout content we're getting, but this actually symbolizes something major for the franchise. This is going to be, if you look at the views that the trailer got on YouTube alone, pushing upwards of 20 million and perhaps even beyond by the time the show comes out, into a whole new level of mainstream. Your mama, your father, your grandma, your grandpa, whoever, people you would never expect are going to be talking about Fallout. And that was already starting to happen with, say, Fallout 4, where when they made Diamond City, ESPN was covering that. Like, that's how big the series had become. And at that moment in 2015, it was like, wow, we've come so far. But now you look at the TV show, and it's going to be on a whole new level of mainstream success. This is naturally going to be really important because Bethesda has to have a lot of content prepped for when that surge of players starts to come in, whether you're a fan like us who is just having a Fallout itch, or a new fan who's coming in saying, oh, that show was great, I gotta check out the games now. We'll get into all of that in a moment, but when it comes to the Fallout TV show trailer, I found what we saw really encouraging. Outside of one little thing there, I guess you could put an asterisk next to it. Now that I've detached from all the excitement and all of the hype, I've watched the trailer 1,000,001 times, I still feel really good about what's here. I think the set design, the locations, I think even the costumes look fantastic. Artistically, it borrows from Fallout 4, but I see a lot of the older, more westernized Fallout games in the wasteland, in the set, and I think that's really important. At the same time, though, my concern lies in that it feels like a lot of this is currently, as it stands with the knowledge of one teaser trailer, paying homage to much of Bethesda's Fallout, which I get. Much to the dismay of many Fallout fans who have been around since the start, the Bethesda Fallout is more popular, even if the older Fallout, or New Vegas, is better to many. And I get that. And I bring all of that up because one thing that is being neglected currently in the Fallout TV show is the presence of the NCR, in replacement of the Brotherhood of Steel once more, where we know, based off, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Bethesda loves the Brotherhood of Steel, loves them. And while I don't think they're painted as saints based off what we've seen so far, some people are wondering, when we left out of New Vegas, yeah, we knew the West was pretty dominated by the NCR and that the Brotherhood was kind of a smaller faction and had lost control. So how did they gain so much power? Will they make sense of that or not? We'll have to wait and see. But from the outside looking in, I don't feel too ashamed to say I'm actually kind of excited for this TV show. It started off with, oh my God, what are they doing? Why? Just give us comics or books or a new game. Why are you doing a show? But as we get closer and closer to it, I love the idea of 3 protagonists, a vault dweller, someone who's a part of the Brotherhood of Steel, and then the main antagonist. I love that kind of stuff, especially because we're going to get trips back to the pre-war. I feel like a lot of focus is there, and there's even new surprises in store, like a Vault Boy origin story. So yeah, I'm kind of into what the Fallout TV show is doing from the outside looking in, and I cannot wait for April 12th when the first episode debuts on Amazon Prime, and naturally, we'll be here to review that. Now, as I said earlier, Bethesda needs to have content ready, because if CD Projekt Red proved anything, it's that one good show can cause a resurgence in your player base far beyond any numbers you ever saw at launch. And so if you look at Fallout 4, that's a great starting point because Fallout 4 is, to our knowledge, slated to be getting a next-gen update. This was announced during the 25th anniversary for the Fallout franchise, where it was promised that Fallout 4 would be getting a next-gen update, and it was in that message that Bethesda promised bonus Creation Club content. And so, since then, it's been long delayed, where, 2023 not looking like too likely of a chance that we're going to get the Fallout 4 next-gen update, and so a lot of people are wondering, what's up? I think with Skyrim, it's actually become a lot more clear what's going on. This year, we saw the random introduction of creations into Skyrim. For those who have not caught up, creations are basically paid mods at this point. Bethesda tried this in the past with Creation Club. It was a failure. They scaled it back, toned it down, and have been quiet since, gradually giving away content. And now, with creations being added into Skyrim, basically what can happen is, number one, we're seeing more ambitious paid mod content effectively, where very popular modders are actually able to establish their own studios and start working on content for Skyrim, for Fallout 4, etc., and make a living off of this, which is amazing. But make no mistake that if Skyrim is getting it, I think we now know the reason why Fallout 4's next-gen update went dead silent. It's because it's probably going to get creations as well. You may as well have your microtransactions prepped for when the massive surge of players comes in, because if you're Bethesda and you're a business, this is probably the best way to capitalize on an otherwise free update. Either that, or I think Bethesda is going to pull a Skyrim Anniversary Edition and just dump all of the former Creation Club content into our lap. The only difference here is that, in hindsight, I actually feel a little bit icky about Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the new content there, but now with the addition of creations, it definitely felt a bit like, I think the best term to define it is a Trojan horse, where they kind of wheeled it in, went, surprise, creations are here, right? So I just feel like Fallout 4 is set up for one or the other, and that when we get that next-gen update will be around the time the TV show launches. And the timing, frankly, couldn't be better, because right now, a lot of the conversation around Starfield is centered around, wow, Fallout 4 actually had a lot done right with it. And so it's that full circle appreciation that I saw with Fallout 4's launch, where people went, wow, New Vegas really got that right. So it's happening right now with Fallout 4, where people are kind of biding their time for a replay until the next-gen update comes, because why start one now? You got a big update on the way, and then that'll be the best way to play it, right? At the same time, many Fallout fans, like myself, are really looking for a new premium product to play. One that, maybe not Fallout 5, but something new to hit the market, something new to get excited about. And it looks like Bethesda is working on something like that in the Fallout 3 remaster. Earlier in 2023, Bethesda's entire content schedule from July of 2020 all the way up to fiscal year 2024 had completely leaked. And since then, things have looked more and more legitimate. I mean, it already is legitimate. I mean, Phil Spencer kind of confirmed that this was already real. He did claim a lot of the plans have changed since then. These happen to be court documents submitted to the FTC for review. So yeah, they had to be real. They had to be official. But if that wasn't enough, there's been more and more evidence suggesting that the games on these lists are real and are still on the way, and that the plans haven't shifted too drastically yet. Most recently, we got the announcement of Blade from Arcane Leon. Now, this potential announcement actually may have been listed here as a licensed game in the release calendar. Granted, it's not going to be coming out in that window, but Matt Frary, senior PR at Bethesda, said that this has been a secret for a very long time, and given that this leaked list came out in July of 2020, then it may check out. At the same time, however, there's a rumor that Bethesda's Roundhouse Studios is working on a PvPvE game based on a major comic book license, and since it said the release is expected to be in fiscal year 24, and we haven't seen much from Roundhouse Studios, it's possible that this is it. Either way, there's also an Oblivion remake / remaster, which is leaked twice over, not only in this list, but when you go over to Reddit, there was a leak there, first suggesting that an Oblivion remake was on the way, and a lot of people went,
yeah, 50-50, okay.
And then this followed it up, thus giving more legitimacy to the claim there. So a lot of the dots are connecting, and not only that, Project Hibiki was on this list, which turned out to be Hi-Fi Rush, which we got at the top of 2023. So, yeah, there has been quite a lot confirmed on this list. I would imagine that Bethesda would keep the safe bet alive in Fallout 3 Remaster and eventually get that one out. And what better time to at least announce it or start marketing it than around that TV show? The Fallout TV show serves as the centerpiece to this entire conversation for a specific reason. It's, as I've said multiple times, that all of these things happening around Fallout need to center around this show, because when this show pops off, whether it's good or bad, when it pops off, they're expecting players to go in numbers to all of these various products, creating a lot of excitement for the Fallout franchise. Naturally, that means we have to turn our attention to the live service product in Fallout 76, which plays a way bigger factor in this than I think you expect, because it is also targeting content in the first quarter of the year, which I think would again be a big Fallout blowout between Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and maybe some sort of announcement in Fallout 3 Remaster. But let's talk 76 for a moment. So at the end of 2023, we got Atlantic City. My review for that is going to be up on the channel. You can go ahead and check it out for yourself if you want to know my thoughts on part 1, which was 2 expeditions and a couple of quality of life enhancements. But overall, the world space was fantastic. I really love the art direction and the music. It feels like they're almost there. They're one free, open, explorable area away. And wouldn't you guess what's dropping in the start of 2024 Q1? But yes, Fallout 76 Atlantic City Part 2. And it'll mark what I believe is the most significant update the game has seen since Fallout 76 Wastelanders, the game that marked publicly and also commercially and also critically a major turning point for a game that was doomed for failure when it had first come out. So not only are you lining up your biggest update with the Fallout TV show, but I talked about expeditions, and that's even more important because we just talked about Fallout 3, where I think the content lineup for 76 and Fallout 3 Remaster actually may line up more than you think. So going back to another Reddit leak, it's there that we learned about expeditions. Now, this is something that was in the rumor mill for a bit thanks to data miners. And interestingly enough, it was there we saw the capital Wasteland was a open, explorable location, DuPont Circle being the specific spot we had seen in this screenshot here. And it's possible that they went, hey, let's go ahead and just remaster this whole thing at the end of the day. Like, why are we making this a 76 piece of free content when people would absolutely pay for this if we just remaster the original product? It's also equally possible that they said to themselves, hey, let's synchronize our content roadmap with an upcoming remaster to bring more players in, just like they're probably going to attempt to do with Atlantic City Part 2 as the beginning of a new rollout of consistent Fallout content. I hate to say this because I know a lot of Elder Scrolls fans are hungry for content, and you're going to get it, no doubt about it. But Fallout is a huge moneymaker, and I feel like the TV show and 76 and Fallout 4, all of them getting updates around the same time, to me symbolizes the beginning of a new era for Fallout in the idea of content rollout and consistency. It's been far too spotty for all of Bethesda's franchises. I think that's why Creations exist, to provide monthly verified mod content that's going to be added to your game, that's going to feel more like, if you will, traditional Bethesda content instead of mods, something to get you paying and playing month in, month out. And so I feel like they're setting all of this up because they understand that their games are taking way too long to come out. I think that's why Skyrim got Creations, why Fallout 4 will get Creations. And yes, I believe even Starfield will get Creations, because I don't think there will ever be a Starfield 2. So taking a look at the entire spectrum of Bethesda games, I feel like this is where we're at right now with the Fallout series, where things are looking active and fun. And I'm just excited to be able to sit down in this chair again and talk about upcoming Fallout content. Whether it ends up being good or bad, that'll be the fun or miserable part of the journey. We'll talk about all of it here together. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for the future of Fallout for the first time in a while, and that feels pretty good. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Be sure to fire away. Other than that, take excellent care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time around. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.